You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and the Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
Well, good morning and hello, kids. Yeah, I was kind of waiting. I had the well going, and I was like just waiting. I was like at the club waiting for the drop.
Yeah, I was sitting there going like, okay, oh, I forgot to turn the cameras on.
Welcome to season 3 and episode number. You need one more cup. Yep.
This is the first
season 3 and episode number 188 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show here on the Crier Media Network. Today, recording day is Thursday, August 17th, and it's a happy birthday. I mean, technically, my beaver sweetie and I are not married, so I guess technically I can't say my father-in-law, but happy birthday to my father-in-law.
Right. Technicality, family's family, man. Forget about it. It doesn't need to be,
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
you make your own family, you know?
Yes. La mulțan sandu. That's how you say happy birthday in Romanian.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Swear, man, this guy does yoga every morning. Like with the sun, he's up, meditates, does yoga. He's doing headstands, handstands, like just. He is fit. He is lean. He is.
Can't spell my name when I wake up at 5 a.m. so that when we do this at 7, I'm somewhat human.
Yeah, no. He's and he loves his grandchildren. He really loves his grandchildren. So he's a very, very happy man.
Certainly sounds like it, yeah.
Yes. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he, him, he, Mr. Beaver, eh? And with me, as always, is my dear friend, Mr. Grizzly. The weather at the Beaver Lodge today is going to be sun for a while, then rain for a while, then sun for a while, then rain for a while. So that might get in the way of the big news that's going on is your Eager Beavers participating in a tennis tournament.
Oh.
Yes. Our club has its annual singles tennis tournament. Now, before COVID, so many people registered that there was like an A, B, C, and D division. So you all played your first match, and then, you'd go down and you'd go down. And, I'd hope to get D division and then hope that the first person I'd play in D is someone around my caliber. And then every now and then you'd get somebody who was really good who just happened to face 2 even better people. And you said, what the hell are you doing in D? But no, this year it seems that only the really competitive people entered So there's just a main draw and consolation, which means I am going in for 3 matches of getting my butt gift wrapped and handed back to me.
Well, that should be an enjoyable afternoon.
I looked at the draw and the first person I'm playing and said, how did I get him right off the bat? And then I looked at everybody else. Oh, he's the easy one. Yee. The last time I played him, I lost 8-0 to him in about like 31 minutes. If that. Yeah. It's gonna be it's gonna be painful. Oh well, I'm going to school.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to consider it. Of course, a big thank you goes to our podcast's founding sponsors, the Peppermaster, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and CanadianTarot.com. We have a Thursday morning nibble for you, but before we do anything, let's say good morning to Mr. Grizzly and ask how's your mental health doing today, sir?
Good morning, Mr. Beaver. I am mental health wise. I think I'm pretty good today. Yeah, well, yesterday I was in a lot of physical pain, so that affects your mental health, right? I mean, it just you're trying to put on a happy face and get through the workday. But I was, sciatica, shoulders, like everything. It feels like somebody beat me up with a baseball bat. That didn't happen, of course, but it's I'm old. I'm old. I should probably start doing yoga again. I used to do it, and I should get back into it. I am going to be back into the gym in September. I was going to start this summer, and I'm like, you know what? I made it to the beach once, made it to one hot tub. I just too busy to really. And even during my 3 weeks off, I only made it to the beach once. So. September we'll be back in the gym. I'll start exercising regularly because I'm not in the best of shape right now. Like I'm not at my peak performance right now, and I'd like to get back to that. So yeah. There we go. So mental health wise, I think I'm okay today, but no physical pain. A lot of emotional pain because of the crap I'm reading in the news right now. Yellowknife being completely evacuated. While that order was being worked out and given, we had Pierre Poilievre giving a speech at a gas station.
Petrosexuals.
Like
Homosexuals and petrosexuals. Seriously. And the Venn diagram really intersects. Seriously.
I don't, what? This is flabbergasted again.
Yeah.
It's just so damn often.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Yellowknife. Last night, reports were that the wildfire was burning about 20 kilometers outside the city. And because of the winds, they were saying that it could probably move 5 kilometers closer to the city by the weekend. This morning, it is at 17 kilometers from the city, so it moved 3 kilometers in one day. They were expecting 5 kilometers between yesterday and sometime on the weekend. So it is moving very, very, very fast. The whole city has been evacuated. Everybody must leave by noon tomorrow. The mayor of Yellowknife, Rebecca Altley, is quoted as saying, "It is approaching, but there is time to complete the community evacuation. It's being called now so that we can allow people the opportunity to drive while the highway is open. The highway is subject to closure at any time. Conditions will be smoky and residents should drive with caution and care. As the minister mentioned, flights will continue until everyone is evacuated." And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that she's talking about Highway 3. It's the only one south out of the city. So yeah, it's a big thing. Arrangements. People there are still trying to fight the fire. They are putting 100-meter fire breaks, and they're laying down lines of flame retardant around the city. But yeah, the winds are just strong, and if the conditions do remain dry, if no rain comes between now and then, that's just, let's just say it's a bad combination of conditions. Mike Westwick, fire information officer for the Northwest Territories, has said This fire has burned deep, it has burned hot, and it has found ways through multiple sets of established lines. In other parts of the Northwest Territories, people are going south to Alberta. There's about 550 people as of last night who are already registered in the town of St. Albert, and Grand Prairie, which is larger, is already filling up. So people are going to one place and seeing how filled up it is and trying another place. And well, up in northern Alberta, it's not like the cities and towns are all that close together. So it's rough. It's rough. The fire up in that region is already almost 4 times the size of PEI, over 230 fires in all. And Premier Carolyn Cochrane says, I'm urging residents and their loved ones that may be outside the territory as well. Stay calm, seek information from credible sources, not rumor mills, and really hoping that rain's on its way. We need rain desperately.
This is the graphic you're looking at right now is the firesmoke.ca website. You can see where Yellowknife is right here, number 6. Yeah. Great Slave Lake below that. You can see the fires burning.
It's
bad.
It's bad. A state of emergency has been declared. It will last for 14 days unless rescinded or renewed. The emergency declaration means that along with Canadian Armed Forces soldiers, the territory is eligible for a wider range of federal assistance, such as aircraft, heavy equipment, funding for hotel accommodations, those kinds of things. The federal government, of course, has already said that it will be there to help. Yeah.
Yeah, it just gets worse by the day, doesn't it?
It really does, and particularly, the people in Hay River and Fort Smith and the Ketladoche First Nation who had already been evacuated about 2 months ago and had returned, and they're being evacuated again. So, yay, summer! Remember when we used to look forward to summer?
Yeah.
There's a reason autumn is my favorite season.
No, I still hate autumn, and that's not going to change for me.
I know that, but
yeah, I know.
I think a lot of people are going to start appreciating winter.
Yeah.
A lot more. Wow. In Hawaii,
let's just go back to
okay.
let's just go back to Petro-Canada's so we all saw Skippy yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is from Aaron Hoyland today. Poilievre pretended to not know who has said he's dog whistling to the far right. 3 days ago, he literally tweeted about a news story where he's accused by experts of dog whistling to the far right. So, like I said in the little write-up at the beginning of the show, he knows damn well
he knows
who the experts are who made that. But he wanted to be an obnoxious, arrogant prick because a woman dared confront him.
Oh, yes. And he trotted out his famous, that sounds like a CBC question. So that sounds like a CBC question is the Maple Trump version of fake news.
Well, she doesn't work for the CBC to begin with.
Yeah, but but it sounds like a CBC question. That is that's the Conservative Party of Canada's version of fake news. That's literally, whenever you hear that, like, let's just picture Trump's big orange mouth going, fake news. Same thing. Just adapted for our culture.
Like I said, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh, he knows.
And so, and look,
he's a clever
I have not been kind to him. I've not been kind to him, and I will not be kind to him because he's not a kind person.
And his ends are not noble.
No.
And his means suck.
He's a terrible person who only wants to gin up and enrage the extreme far right. He wants to create Gilead. He doesn't care about you or I. Actually, he probably has disdain for you. With me, if he met me in the streets and didn't know who I was, he would probably think I was on his side because,
Yeah, you got the look.
Tall, white, bald, male. I look the part. I get it. I look the part. It's like I should grow my beard out, put my shades on, and do a raging video from my car. Except if I did that, I'd have to do it Trey Crowder style to really confuse them, right?
You need to do it with the Newfoundland accent.
Yeah. Our Tanner, Jesus, I'll tell you this Skippy, what a prick. What an arsehole that son of a bitch is. I'll tell you this.
He's a pretty rank arsehole. Oh, man. To Emma,
I'm trying really hard to maintain it.
It's not nice.
I'm trying really hard to maintain some decorum here and not drop a whole bunch of F-bombs. But like, have you ever seen a politician in this country behave like a child throwing a temper tantrum as often as he does? Yep. I've never ever seen it. And you think, okay, that's as far. No, he just goes farther each and every time. He just, we're having a limbo contest. He's dug a hole to get under the bar.
We have a contest actually going on right now between Doug Ford and him, but like who's the Trumpiest? But they're in different ways, right?
That's the
Doug
thing.
Ford is the whole mob boss thing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the bumbling. Oh, well, he's doing the best he can and his heart's in the right place.
No, it's
not. People, right? I guess, and the more and more we're seeing like this every now and then when he does that smile, it's like when he doesn't really mean it and he does the smile, but without the eyes, because you see he's concerned and he's worried. Like this literally just screams mob boss at that moment, right? That face, because the lines on the face contorts in a certain way when that happens, and you can see it if you're looking at someone's face.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that he's got that Trump part right, and so he's doing the way that he uses language to make it sound like he's one of us, when he's really this rich person with super privilege who has everything handed to him and even seems to have like an OPP escort making sure that every time he screws up, someone's there to mop it up. Whereas Trump, it was his lawyers. It wasn't police, it was lawyers. Just keep it in court, just delay it, just do this, just threaten someone, just intimidate someone, just, those Michael Cohen phone calls, like, I'm going to make your life live in hell and I'm going to destroy you, if you like this for like, asking him to pay the bill for the painters, right? Or something, right? So everything just needed to be crushed, and you bought these big lawyers, and then people go, oh, okay, and then right, everybody backs away. And then with PP, it's the it literally is the policy, because Ford doesn't really care about the policy so long as he can get money. Right, and make access for money, and things could be, money can take interesting paths to get to their destination, let's say, allegedly. But for Trump, it's he just wants to stay out of jail. The presidency is the way to do it. So it's like, what do you need? What do you need? Abortion? You got it. Prosecute the gays? Sure. I'll do that for you. I'll fix you up. Right?
Forget about it.
Yeah. Just let Trump be Trump, and I'll fix you up.
Yeah.
Because Trump was also using the U.S. Treasury as his own piggy bank.
Oh, of course he was.
It's like, oh, no. Well, it's like, yes, but you have to stay at my hotel. And these are the rates. So, yeah. It's either way,
the amount
it's not good.
Of delusion. It's the amount of delusion that it just, people just completely living in a false reality.
You know what? I'm wondering if it's just because people, that image you show me of the 3 glasses with the yellow liquid and says, I'm half full, I'm half empty. This tastes like piss.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I haven't seen anything to confirm it or anything, just wondering if there are enough people that have just decided some time ago that they think this is piss,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore, as like, there's inflation, the real wages haven't risen in 30 or 40 years. We're being choked to death. The world is boiling. The world's on fire. We know her. We know where this ride is going.
Oh yeah.
It's just too much to bear. It's just too much to bear. There's going to be all this mass migration from all around the world because things are drying up. And instead of using this time right now to try and figure out better ways to welcome the people that we know will be coming, we are
Mm-hmm.
trying to find better ways to push them back into the water.
Well, and
At some point, there's going to be way more than we are
Mhm.
able to push in the water coming. You have to, and we will not have the systems to welcome them because we spent this time trying to keep them out rather than try to figure out a better and more efficient way to make sure that there's room for everyone.
Well, we do have a housing crisis. That's not up for debate.
Yeah.
That is a fact. And
But this is the whole world I'm talking about now.
yeah. Okay. I thought you were just talking about Canada there for a sec, but because I we could lean into the housing thing. It is a thing. It does need to be dealt with. The federal government should start building houses again. Period. That should happen. I mean, they've been out of it for over 30 years. So the federal government needs to pull up their socks on that. The provincial government needs to cooperate with the federal government because provincial premiers who are just trying to, butt heads with the prime minister because they're all cons. It's like, no, guys, you're not helping anybody here. You're tooting your own damn horn to make yourself look good. Meanwhile, people are suffering in your own province. It's a complete dereliction of duty. But here's something else that I want to talk about. We're still on the same topic here, so I'm not veering off. But this is where it goes to the delusion. So I'm going to show you a tweet from Rachel Gilmore in response to a Tristan Hopper take. And then we're going to scroll down to take a look at the response to Rachel Gilmore. So here's the tweet from Rachel Gilmore. This is such a dog shit take. Poilievre, who read the CP article, knows who the experts are.
Mm-hmm.
He used that as an excuse to dodge the question. Maybe attack the people in power who won't give straight answer rather than the reporters asking the question. That was the response to Tristan Hopper saying, I've had public figures respond to me like this. After I wallowed in shame for a while, it generally prompted me to ask more direct and better research questions.
Mm-hmm.
And the response to Rachel Gilmore, this is the delusion. Meanwhile, Trudeau hasn't answered a question in 8 years.
Right.
Like,
all he
come
does is
on.
read his little talking points off a little piece of paper that Daddy Schwab wrote for him, even when his talking points have nothing to do with the question. And Rachel Gilmore says nothing.
That's complete delusion.
But that's bait.
They're living in a false reality.
But that there is just a bait tweet.
Oh, of
That's
course
put
it is.
there to get you to react so he can get the engagement. Like, there's nothing there. That's that's the type of tweet you just walk by.
I'm ignoring it.
Right. But right. You're right. That's what they're doing. But where I'm getting at is we are not. There are things like, for example, we've been talking 40 years about the aging population, and we're here, and we don't have the stuff for them because we kept on delaying or doing it later, or we have time, or there's a more important priority because it was 40 years down the road, and now all the 40 years are here, and we still don't have the things. Right? It's a thing we tend to do. So we know it's coming. We know what we need to do because we know at some point in a planet with 8 billion people,
Mm-hmm.
the places in the world where people are going to be moving away from to go to.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, right, people are just going to push through the border.
Well, if
you get hungry and desperate enough, people are just going to push through.
As more and more places become unlivable due to climate change, as the world heats up and the polar ice caps start to melt and sea levels start to rise, as places are slowly going literally underwater, and some of them are incredibly populated spaces and places. Remember Manhattan, New York City? That's going to be underwater in 10 years if they don't do something about it. And what are they going to do about it? Well, they're just going to build a wall around the city because nobody's going to slow down the production of oil to the point where we can cool the earth. And there's no plan in place to cool it.
No.
And every time we've had a sci-fi version of it, it turns into a frozen wasteland and everybody dies. So,
right. Like, we get Waterworld or Mad Max or whatever, right? So, but here's the thing: is all this wanting to live in an alternate reality? Maybe it's because people really do know where things are going. And facing reality, it's just too damn hard.
Oh, I can't believe this little shit gibbon is still on. Wait till you see this.
Oh, God.
Mark Slapinski. Pierre Poilievre is a man who knows how to keep women in their place. He handled that uppity CBC woman with grace. Woman reporters should stick to fashion and recipes so they look good and make tasty meals for their husbands. I don't know if that is an authentic tweet or not because it is a screen cap. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And again, if it is a real one, it's a bait tweet.
Yeah.
It's a bait tweet, especially since if his account is still on lock and he's only got his own people to tweet to, so he doesn't have the rest of us who would respond to that to write on it, then he's got to be, if he wants to keep his engagement up, he has to put in lots of super red meat to have everybody going, yeah, bro, yeah, that's so right. Because he doesn't have the rest of us to join in going, you stupid motherfucker. So yeah, sounds like it could be a fake one. Sounds like it could be a real one from him. I mean, God knows. Jeez. But yeah, if his numbers are down, yeah, probably. I would assume that the content, the inflammatory level of it, the level of rage inducing or outrageousness of the tweets while the account is locked has probably gone up significantly. Well, that would not surprise me.
His page, his Twitter page is unlocked again. You can.
Oh, it is unlocked again.
Scrolling through it. Yeah,
okay, so he just went into hiding for a couple of days, did the shields up thing, and now he's.
Yeah.
Well, then you just, if you want to know if it's a real one, just enter a line of the text into the search with Mark_Slapinski, and if it pops up, then you know he wrote it.
Yeah, I don't see it on his timeline, so it's tough to say. It could be fake. But it sounds like something he would say.
Oh yeah, well that again, what makes good satire, right?
Well, here's his thing right now. I'll show you this. It's like, really, dude, you're not helping yourself on this one. This is a recent one. I'm like, okay. It's like, why is Rachel Gilmore trending? Because she's a loser and her news is fake. And shows a picture of Rachel looking like Rachel, stunning.
Yeah.
You know he's fantasizing about her, right?
Well, I don't know, but with him, I mean, I guess he could have a diversified portfolio. I mean, he just comments about gay stuff so much. I assume latent desires, unless he wants to be her.
Well,
but Mark,
could be.
Doesn't matter how skinny you are, if you're ugly on the inside. Oh man, read me a little bit of that tweet again, please.
Sorry, just a sec here. Why is Rachel Gilmore trending? Because she's a loser.
Sorry, the previous one about Teresa Wright.
Oh, hang on, I'll see if I can find it again. Pierre Poilievre is a man who knows how to keep women in their place. He handled that uppity CBC woman with grace. Women reporters should stick to fashion and recipes so they look good and make tasty meals for their husbands.
All right. Well,
8:05 p.m. 2023 08:16.
huh.
So it's possible it's real, but I don't know. I don't know.
The man who knows how to keep just looking. No, there doesn't seem to be anything. That one might be a fake one,
It probably
or
is.
he's taken it down already.
Yeah. It's probably fake.
Yeah. But
but it sounds like something he would write.
Well, let's just put it this way: over the day on Twitter, if it's a real one, eventually it'll become known.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the. Yeah, exactly, Kit Linda. I figured it was fake because it was too blatant. Exactly, it was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was the bug in my ear too. It's just like it sounds like it would.
There's a bit of a tell.
It sounds
right?
like something he would do, but like that's just, especially after going into hiding for a couple of days, because I guess saying she looked like a prostitute was too far. This one would like really be like, hey, that really worked well for me. Let's try it again. I think Mark might like a couple of weeks between being bitch slapped on Twitter. It's not good for the bank account to do it twice in a row and with a little tiny gap in between them. Oh man. Okay. Gee, so much gossip. There is Stephen Guilbeault, the environment minister, who has been the lightning rod for pretty much everything the last few days. It seems to be an Operation Annihilate Stephen Guilbeault. Now, if you listen to the show, you know that I'm not a big fan of his ability to communicate. But here's the thing about this guy, right? He was with Greenpeace. He has been called way worse by so better. Right? What Danielle Smith has to say about him, what Pierre Poilievre has to say about him, what the conservative press has to say about him, he don't care. He's been called way worse when he was an actual eco warrior. Right? He's the minister now. And even though he's not a particularly effective communicator, with the community and with the stakeholders he is, because they speak the same language, but with the people on the other side, not particularly effective. And also with the general public. But there's no denying that on the file, he knows his stuff. Right? So when he's putting policy together and whatnot, it's pretty solid. This guy, he must be a glutton for punishment because he is on his way to China for the first official visit of a Canadian cabinet minister to China since 2018. Because
who was the last one?
I don't remember who was the last one to go. He says international cooperation is needed as the world faces a triple crisis: climate change, pollution, and biodiversity. So he's going to China because the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs have both said, with the new Pacific strategy, where we are in competition, we will oppose, and where we need to collaborate, we will be there. So we are taking the first step and putting our money where our mouth is and saying, yes, this is an area for cooperation, and where we can cooperate, we will. And we are showing up to show that we will. Now, as this is going on, of course, because this visit was planned, because it's not like he just picked up the phone this morning and said, hey, China, how about I come over and let's have a summit, right? So yesterday.
How are you feeling about that?
Yesterday, because the Communist Party of China needs to be the Communist Party of China. They updated their list of, I guess you could call it, preferred countries for travel post-COVID. Because in China, there's a lot of people that come here and do the bus tours. And
Oh, yes.
when the tours in China advertise to the population of China, well, they advertise from the list that the government of China provides.
Of course.
So even though the government of China has had problems with the United States and many of our EU allies, they're all on the list, but we're not. We're not. And why are we not? Why are we once again the Communist Party of China's favorite chicken to kill in order to keep the monkeys in line? Even though the conservatives keep on telling us that the government of China really, really, really is favoring Trudeau and the liberals. Why did they try to first sink our beef industry, then sink our canola industry, and now why are they trying to sink our tourism industry if they really want Trudeau to win? Hmm? You know
Please
why?
explain
You
that
know
to me.
why? You know why? They are upset that election interference, that issue, has been being hyped up in an irresponsible way in Canada. Now, while the issue of election interference from China must be absolutely dealt with, it has indeed been raised in an irresponsible way. Right? Somebody's being sued. And who is it that is hyping up the issue of election interference in an irresponsible way? Well, that would be the conservatives, the business people, the people who are allegedly good with money, to whom we should give over the reins of the economy. There's a way to deal with election interference
Oh, yeah.
without raising hackles. Now, of course, China's going to be China, and they're always the victim, and they never do anything wrong. So, I mean, you just look their way and whisper election interference, and there's probably a sanction coming. Let's be honest. We know who we're dealing with here, right? But yeah, the people who are ginning up the issue, there are people that raise this issue in such a way that caught the attention of the government. The communist government of the People's Republic of China are the conservatives. Meanwhile, in Alberta, you have Danielle Smith, for the first time ever in the history of Alberta, put in a moratorium on anything energy. And it happens to be for renewables because, what happens if we have to reclaim the land? Because, and let's think about this only for renewables, of course, because we don't have an issue with energy projects that need to be reclaimed or need to be ended or have ended, that have land issues to deal with other forms of energy that will go without being named right now.
Treaty
Right.
6 territory.
Right. So injecting tons of uncertainty and unpredictability into the business at a time where the oil companies and the gas companies, the traditional, the legacy energy companies, are asking for this regulation because they want the predictability and the stability so they know how to plan for the next 12 years, and hopefully in such a way that doesn't make their products uncompetitive to be sold on the world market as other countries adopt higher standards. Because if you can't make it there, you certainly can't import it there. Right?
Yeah.
So if we're making a product that we can no longer export because nobody else wants it, because we didn't get off our duffs to clean it, and we're still waiting for technology to arrive. So we have two conservatives movements that are out there just to own the libs, I am going to do this. And boom, whoops, there's a big international consequence. All of a sudden, Alberta is no longer predictable for business and renewables. And then here we go. Oh yeah, let's get Trudeau on foreign interference. Let's make him look bad, like he doesn't care about the country. And then boom, the tourism sector gets hit. Now, when Canada was first added to that list, you know when that happened? When the former Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, decided that his "I'm going to get tough with China" strategy didn't really work. And then he eventually did go
Sold
to
us out.
China. And while he was in China, the chairman kind of tore a strip off him while he was there. And it took you long enough to get here. But eventually,
Put his tail between his legs and
but
hobbled off home.
it's after he came back from that trip that we got put on that list for the first time in 2010. And at that time, that was estimated to be worth $100 million
Mm-hmm.
in tourism.
In tourism dollars. Yeah.
That was in 2010, the first year. Now that it's established and people come and have gone back and have told people, oh yeah, you really need to go to Canada. And the tour operators are no longer recommending Canada.
Yeah, but
And who ginned that up? Who made that happen?
The Chinese Communist Party is trying to help Justin. Right, yes. Okay, see.
And who made that happen? So the Conservatives gin up foreign interference, and then the government of China has a reason to punish Canada for, and I guess all of that makes Trudeau look bad. Who is more likely
to benefit from that?
The government of China in bed with, if it were in bed with either, if it were in bed like this.
The Conservative Party of Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Kit Mohan. Who knew that spreading lies and hate would have hurt Canada, would have real life consequences? Who knew that saying things, just running your mouth and saying anything when it gets recorded on anything digital and gets broadcast anywhere around the world where anyone can see it, especially in big countries like China where they have people dedicated to watching everything we do to see if we've slighted them some way. Who would have thought that running your mouth could have had real life consequences, could have been noticed by someone outside the domestic audience and made people go, hey, wait a minute. Who would have
thought? How that works. Funny how that works, huh? Yeah.
These people live in a world where they do not believe that consequences happen, that you can just do anything.
Yeah.
And then you just go to a camera and go, oh, well, sorry, I didn't mean it. Oh, gee, can't you take a joke, man? Or something like, well, no, I didn't read the T-shirt. Or, oh, well, yeah, I saw the T-shirt, but I don't believe in that message. Or I take pictures with thousands of people. All these stupid excuses.
Well, they want us to be stupid enough to believe them.
But they go in front of the media, they say it, and then we just move on to the next damn thing. Who would have thought that these actions together would have consequences?
FAFO, right?
You can't protest any damn way you want. You can't say any damn thing you want any damn way you please. Everything you do or say in public, once you do it or say it, no longer belongs to you. It becomes part of the ether and has an impact and has a consequence.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do or say or don't do or don't say. You can't just run your mouth. This whole whatever, do whatever, say whatever to win the next nanosecond, say whatever, no matter how vile, to make the other person look good so I can win the day or win the moment. It really has to stop. A little long-term thinking, a little long game playing. Man. I just
got some good news for you.
Please.
I know, exasperated. Some good news. This is from CBC News. This came out last night. I missed it. I mean, there's been a hurricane of news, right? So, new Health Minister Mark Holland says legislation to implement a universal pharmacare program will be tabled this fall.
There we go.
Good news. And then, of course, you look at the responses to this. Jesus Christ. We are broke. I thought they were supposed to be making cuts, not creating more socialist programs we can't afford. Where's the money coming from? What did JAG give them? Full-on socialism on board money to the detriment of the lower class. This literally saves money. Dude, I'm a proponent for universal pharmacare. Everyone should have medicine, not on borrowed money and not when healthcare is imploding. Everyone should have medicine and not now are not compatible points of view. Sounds like your view is that actual currently living people should not have medicine.
Yeah. Also, it's like if our hospitals are overrun, wouldn't the good thing be to make sure that people who need medicine actually
Have it?
get medicine? That way, they don't go to the hospitals. Just saying. I don't know. Call me crazy. Woohoo! Ah, man, Mr. Grizzly, how are we doing for time?
We're going to have to jump in a second here. I do have a tweet to show you here. I thought that you would enjoy. I'll put this on the screen. We'll leave it there for a few seconds. Then I'll read it out for the folks listening to the audio only version. This was just a few minutes
not
ago.
Him again.
Conservatives know how to treat a girl. My response to that is, a blow-up doll is not a real girl. Also, your fixation on girls is very telling. Enjoy your inflatable date.
Yeah.
He's always talking about girls, little girls, 14-year-old girls. I don't have a girlfriend. I have a partner because she's a woman. I'm in my 50s, so is she. She's not a girl, she's a woman. I'm not a boy, I'm a man. Mark likes to talk about girls.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
That's telling.
You know those Capital One commercials? What's in your wallet? It's like,
what's in your browser history?
Dude. Guy's got like big neon signs flashing with arrows. Go, look here. It just...
Mm-hmm.
Man,
remember, you can always...
I'm sorry, this is going to sound crude, but if this guy has sex at all, because if we learn down the road that it was literally only super vanilla and missionary position, I will be damn surprised.
Well, yeah.
I will be damn surprised. It's either not at all or he's doing some real freaky shit.
And one or the other, yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if some of it's illegal.
Look, we can always visit his website, toronto99.com, to let him know how we feel about him.
That's just weird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's just weird. That's just
weird.
Yep. I mean, he's literally, he's like veering Andrew Tate. Again, do you remember where this guy ended up?
Yep.
How do these people see Jordan Peterson and where his path has led him? See Andrew Tate, see where his path has led him. If you're in sports, see Ben Johnson or Lance Armstrong and see where their path has led them and decide, hey, I need to get myself a slice of that.
I fail to understand
they see Donald Trump and where his path is leading him. And there's still people going, hey, yeah, I'm Trump without the baggage. I'm Trump in heels. I'm Trump. Trump is going to jail.
Very soon.
Get yourself some baggage and remove those heels. It's just, oh man. It's like before there was a time where when you did bad things and you ended up getting caught, you ended up being a cautionary tale.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're a role model.
It's really disturbing.
WTF, man.
It's really disturbing.
Oh man, my poor little brain.
Okay, I got one last thing. I don't know if you saw this from our friend David Wallace. This was yesterday. 18 hours ago, he tweeted this in response to an Andrew Scheer tweet. I'll put this on the screen.
The Shadow Minister of Blackface.
So it was Andrew Scheer. After promising not to pour inflationary fuel on the fire, Trudeau borrowed and spent billions more. Now, instead of going down, inflation is up again. The same Trudeau policies that caused inflation in the first place are now making it worse. To respond to that, our friend David Wallace, Open Source Media, at pick 61989. Hey, let's talk about 2019 when you had Mike Roman call me about buying the Freeland records provided by Kirill Kalinin. You know, that's espionage, right? Let's get Mike's cell logs from July 2019 and take a look. Mine are available for an inquiry anytime. David's got the goods and the receipts.
Ooh. I want. You know what? The one I don't like PP, and I don't like Smith, and I really don't like slow mo.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I want to see go down.
Sure.
Sheer. Oh,
Yeah.
that motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dimples galore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's the bitch I want to see go down. Because
Well,
he's been rejected and he encrusted himself. And he is going to stay there until somebody that's like nails in the floorboard is going to have to drag him out there. And he is doing whatever he is being asked to keep that report to what he did into that money secret.
well, I
He's
told
gotta go
people
down.
who he was. I told people he's not a good person.
No.
They're like, no, I see him go to church all the time with his family. I'm
Yeah.
like, he's not a good
No.
person. And then the person I had this conversation with about how, you know, I said, he's not a good person. He's this. And I named off a dozen things. Yeah, but I see him at church with his family all the time. Then that same person saw him giving the thumbs up and shaking hands with the occupiers. And that was the moment. That was the breaking point for that person. Went, he's dead to me. I told you, he's not a good person.
No.
Everything is window dressing.
Andrew Scheer was literally, it was a PR exercise. They were trying to anti-Harper because he was dour and whatnot. Hey, let's put the guy that tells some dad jokes that has like these cheeks that you just want to pinch and little dimples like this. Maybe if we put it in a nice package.
Mm-hmm. He's not a good person.
He's not a good person. He's a fraud.
A complete fraud. And this person I had this conversation with had been hoodwinked by him until that moment in time. And that it was like, that was it. He's dead to me.
But we learned it was a fraud. The insurance salesman thing, the dual citizenship. He lambasted Michael Jean and Stéphane Diel for having deals. So when he himself had it, I'm going to renounce my citizenship. Never got around to it. Never. Just like, come on, man. Come on.
Why didn't you tell us? Nobody asked me. Well, then why
do we need to ask you?
We shouldn't have to ask you that.
It's like, yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
I got to get to the office.
Yeah. Kits. Yeah. He needs to go.
Tomorrow's going to be a doozy.
Yes.
I'm working from home. We've got lots of time. Dean is supposed to join us tomorrow morning. I'll check with him later on today to see if he's still capable of joining us. I don't know. He's a busy man. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be, we're going to go hard on Doug Ford tomorrow. I just want to hammer the shit out of him.
Kits, that's the end of this episode of the Daily Beaver podcast. We hope you love listening to us because we love making this for you. You. Remember that sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. Let your peeps know about us because democracy is something that you do. Again, Red Cross, donate if you got it. Please. Whew, brothers and sisters need some help. They definitely do. If you really like this podcast, you can find us on the Crier Media Network as well as all Beaver Grizzly friendly platforms. Stars and reviews are appreciated. So please, if you are giving them out, be generous. Please, pretty please, with maple syrup on top. We love to hear from you. Reach us on our Facebook at True North Eager Beaver, our Twitter feed at True Eager, or by email at truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com. You can subscribe via our pod page thanks to Ray Girl, podpage.com/the True North Eager Beaver, lowercase letters with a hyphen between each one of those words. And when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, we will come right to you. And there we go. There's that squiggly right under my chin that if you bring your camera to, you'll be able to go right to the site. Why not also subscribe to our True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube channel? That's where you can make like Kit Elaine and get to smashing and then dashing.
I've done some tweaking on our pod page. Yeah, I'm just going to show you the screen here. I've done some
Okay.
tweaking on the pod page recently, so changed some artwork,
Ooh, I
changed
like
some
that font better.
fonts, the layouts. Yeah, it's a newer font. I like to change the background, and you can see all the clickable links at the top here.
Ooh,
And then you scroll down, and there's a coffee link to support us on the coffee page. Yeah, I've
ooh,
spent some time
nice.
working on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Spent some time on it.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it very
Yeah,
much.
it's a nice web page. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there's still some more work I'm going to do, but yeah,
No, great work. Thanks so much. Really
Yeah, you're
appreciate
welcome.
that. So yeah, smash all three buttons: like, subscribe, and share. There you go. We can't do this without your kind and generous support. So if you feel that we've done a particularly good show, well, if you're watching, you can scan the QR code by Mr. Grizzly's head and go exactly to the coffee page that he was just talking about. And if you are listening, Jillian Kajilling says, "Nice job, Paul." I agree.
Oh, thank you.
I agree.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Let your fingers do the walking or use your voice command and go to coffee, that's spelled ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, lowercase letters, all in one word. And that's where you can make your donation to the Beaver Lodge Hydration Fund to keep these things nice and humected. I didn't see Jen today, so I'm not using the word. I didn't. Yep. No, not doing it. From the Beaver Lodge, this is your Eager Beaver saying, until next time, dear kids, it can be a tough world out there. So please be kind to and gentle with yourself. And yeah, I'm a big fan of recommending banging your head against a brick wall because it feels so good when you stop if you happen to get a little exasperated. But if you want to avoid concussions, maybe you want to have something soft and very squishy. Oh, there is Kid Jen. Moist. There you go. If you have something squishy, yeah. Mr. Grizzly, I see that you have a squiggly there for your ASMR.
Yes, every Monday evening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Daylight Time. That changes in the autumn, obviously. I do a live ASMR show where I will talk about mental health and ways that we can cope and deal with it. And we have an open community that we can come in and anybody can chat about how they're feeling. All politics, religion, all bad isms are left outside of that space. You are welcome to come in and talk about your mental health. So if you want to scan that, that'll take you right to my ASMR YouTube channel.
All right. And Mr. Grizzly, words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom for today. Well, donate to the Red Cross, yes. If you can reach out and help out anybody in the Northwest Territories right now who is going through a tough time, please do so. I do have, I'm going to be in contact with a friend of Bridget's who she put me in touch with yesterday, who lives in Yellowknife and works in the community. And I don't want to give away too much, but I'm going to try and reach out to her. We're going to see what we can do to get her on the show to have a conversation about what she does up there, along with what it's like to go through an evacuation because of wildfires. I think having a boots on the ground firsthand experience would be a unique moment for the show and give everybody who's listening and watching an idea of what it's really like to go through that, because I don't think enough people have really felt that. The 2-minute clip you see, on the news late at night, it's not really getting into the gist of what people are going through.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can have somebody here that, come in and just let us know what it's like, what they're going through, I think that would give us a new perspective.
Yep, I completely agree. All right, Mr. Grizzly, roll those credits.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver media podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, your uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community and forum, and The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from fresh farm ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind.
All right, kids. That last little link that you saw go up in the chat, that was, your old pal Jake, or our old pal Jake. Well, after he came on here to celebrate Trump indictments with us, he had his own shows that very night, and he has a Tuesday twofer. So I was there for the second part, and we had more Schadenfreude. So
No doubt.
if you'd like to listen to it, there it is. Please click on that. And to Jen, who I heard is she's going to be beaching today.
Oh, nice. Nice. Have a
Yes.
good
So
time.
to Jen, and I apologize to everyone else. Do you even beach, bro?
Are you wearing mohair pajamas?
That's, that joke I keep on making like this when I'm like wearing no pants. People from the distance think I have pants.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why. Mohair. All righty. I'll see you later.